Two wrongs do not make a right, but three lefts do. Today I'll be talking to you about choosing the right and why it's better than choosing left, stopping, or turning around. My name is Michael Breeden, and I'm 50 years old, which means I've had a lot of experience at choosing left, right, or the wrong decision. I will be discussing three main points. First, without the use of GPS or a determined route being given, you will approach a fork in the road and have to choose left, right, stop, or turn around. Second, why right is the best decision, and third, why left, stop, turn around are the wrong decisions. For my first point, let's say I'm going to Disneyland and I want to fast track around the park. According to How Stuff Works online magazine's author, Laurie Dove, in her study, do people tend to walk in predictable clockwise paths? You are expected to turn left. The amusement parks have used the study patterns of people, and they design their parks to steer you in a clockwise pattern. That leads to congestion with crowds of people clamoring for the first rides. The existence of the clockwise pattern has been studied since before the earliest books were written, according to Casasanto and Kryzikov, from an article published in the Association for Psychological Science in 2011 entitled "When Left is Right, Motor Fluency Shapes Abstracts Concepts." Although the article did include some interesting studies on track and field and auto races going in a counterclockwise pattern, for people leaving the inner circle they followed standardized patterns of walking to the left. It was also noted from that earlier text the references of the spiritual recognition of left versus right and right versus wrong. For my second point, why is right the best decision? Mr. Joseph Scott, a former FBI agent and an author of the book entitled No Left Turns, gave a prime example of one hazard associated with left-hand turns. He was a former driver for the head of the FBI, J. Edgar Hoover, who insisted on only making right turns when being driven, a fear he developed after a traumatic car collision involving a left-hand turn. It turns out that the U.S. National Highway Traffic Safety Association agrees from a 2017 study showing approximately 61% of crashes that take place while turning or crossing an intersection involves a left-hand turn. As talked about earlier, if you were to go to an amusement park, it is designed for you to turn left and follow a predictable pattern. But if you turned right at the beginning of your day, you would find yourself avoiding the crowds and having a quicker route to ride the rides. Also, left-hand turns in the United States have you cross a lane of traffic. This increases your probability of error due to increased obstacles you face from two directions of traffic, greater distances of travel to get to the lane, and increased types of traffic, including pedestrians and traffic. Furthermore, in conjunction with the article cited earlier, when left is right, more fluency shapes abstract concepts, there is a mention of the psychology of the expression choose the right. Joseph L. Townsend, author of the words for choose the right, a hymn in the 1985 LDS hymnal, paraphrased the sentiment in the lyric choose the right when a choice is placed before you. This symbolized the multicultural recognition of left is bad and right is good. My third point is why are left, stop, or turn around the wrong decisions? Some people want to offer up alternative suggestions for what else you can do. They might say go left. However, doing so, as cited earlier, will help likely slow you down, cause you to crash, or depress your sensitive understanding of right and wrong. Some might say stop. However, stopping never gets you anywhere, and you started this trip with the intention of getting somewhere. As a final suggestion, some may say turn around. Again, this will stop your progress, and if you intended on going somewhere, you will find yourself back at the beginning. In conclusion, I've taught you today about the practical studies involving choosing the right over the left. How amusement parks subtly steer you in the predestined direction only to slow you down and sell you an extra day in the park when you can't complete the circle. The effectiveness of right over left is found when you avoid physically harming yourself, family, and others when you avoid an accident. How your soul can be lost when you choose left over choosing the right. And finally, how turning around and or stopping will only prevent you from moving forward, and you will never make it to the final destination. I give you this directive now. Choose the right. To walk in the path that will lead you to the more rides one day than any other direction. To avoid the potential pitfalls of accidental death and dismemberment from turning into another vehicle or pedestrian. To hold up your reputation and your character by always choosing the right.